Hey everyone, welcome to the Savvy Spiritos channel. My name is Gavin and I will be your host. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Jack Sparrow sword by Tony Swatton. But before we get into that, if you found your way here, you probably love Pirates of the Caribbean as much as I do myself. Especially everything Jack Sparrow. His costume, the weathering, and the props. The details that people really might miss, like this chicken's foot or snake vertebrae back here that you probably wouldn't really see if you weren't paying attention. That's what this channel is all about. I want to try to bring more light to the community of the Jack Sparrow character and all of our costuming work that we do, as well as share to the people that may not really know either where to get things, how to do certain things, because I have learned an immense level of details, a lot of techniques, a lot of precise accuracies that a lot of people haven't actually been able to know about, and that's what I want to try to bring to light using this channel and this platform. I spent years collecting and studying Jack Sparrow's costume, and I want this to be a place where we can really kind of dive into all of it, together, and you guys are able to comment in the comments and, talk to me, ask me questions, and, if you know me from Facebook or any of the groups, hi, this is me, and this will be my channel from now on. I also want to try to talk about with all of you kind of how the costume was made, details about how it was aged, weathered, details about how it's been beaten down and how you break everything in, and kind of what makes it so iconic. So to kick things off, I wanted to start with something really special, and one of my absolute favorite pieces in my entire collection, and that is my Jack Sparrow or Spack Jarrow sword by Tony Swatton, the legendary, film swordsmith, bladesmith, blacksmith, whatever. He's done swords for like over 300 feature films. The dude is an immense talent, and it's really crazy to know I have something made by such an important human being. This one here isn't just any replica, as it's coming from Tony Swatton, cast directly from the original Jack Sparrow sword that was used on screen, particularly some of the island scenes, I think, from Dead Man's Chest. This is basically, in my opinion, the best replica out there, and I think anyone with a good opinion that knows what this sword is about would have to agree. Let's just kind of get into the story. So I've always been drawn to Jack's character, his look, his appearance, everything like that, and it all just seems very, lived in and very alive and real, and I really wanted to try to perfectly mimic that with what I could do. His whole outfit really tells this incredible story of just someone that's really done a lot and really picked up, lots of things. I mean, his trinkets in his hair, like his African trade strand, his piece of 8, again, all the belt trinkets, all his rings, which we will get into in a later video, just really tell this really cool story about how Jack's really been everywhere. He's been all around the world, and I think that's so cool. But to me, I think the sword has always been something I've been drawn to, but I could never have actually afforded if I had not been gifted it by my good friend Greg, which I am forever grateful for. Me and him make the most screen-accurate Jack Sparrow compasses, and I will be showing them off on the channel here at some point once I have one to actually show. This one has always been kind of one of those crown jewel pieces that I think really finishes off the costume. I partner it with my Fernando Segura Castro scabbard, which are 100% accurate, absolutely gorgeous pieces. And it's just one of those cool things that has some of that charm of Jack, but it's also more of a lesser important item that without the help from my friend Greg and actually receiving this as a gift, I probably would have never been able to afford. This one here is very special because it's not like a fan interpretation, my bad. Like the one from Indie Magnolia, which I think is pretty okay for the cost and the for what was on offer. I think that this one is definitely, the way to go if you have the money, the time, anything like this. If you want a metal sword that will truly last and truly be original and actually cast directly from Johnny's sword, this is the one to go with. Like, it's crazy. You would have to look to believe me, but every dent, every scratch, all this has been placed carefully by Tony to mimic the original in every way. And it's got an aluminum, aircraft aluminum blade, which I think is really nice because it's not sharp, it's lightweight. I think it weighs about a total of a pound, maybe half a pound. It's just such a nice sword with this nice aged brass handle and all that, and the ebony wood hilt is just so bloody gorgeous. One of the things that I really enjoy about this is actually, like I just showed, the closer details. The guard being brass is really, really nice. He's got it aged with all this patina, and the pommel is super, super accurate, and everything about it is just so gorgeous. It's not shiny, but it's perfectly worn, just like Jack's sword. Every inch of it just feels right. You really feel like Captain Jack Sparrow, if you will, or whatever. Now, again, Greg, if you watch this, you're a legend, man. I can't thank you enough for every single thing you and I have been through, all the things we do together for the costume. This sword, I mean, like, come on, it's just so freaking amazing, and I will forever be grateful of this and all the other amazing things that me and you work on together as projects in the community. To most people, this might look just like a normal sword, but to me, this is one of the most important pieces that I own, and one of the most important pieces of Jack's actual history, because if you guys didn't know, this sword is actually an antique sword from God knows when. I can't remember, and I don't want to mess it up, but basically, when they were looking for a sword for Jack for the films, they actually walked into an antique store, and I believe it was the same antique store they ended up getting the Perry London flintlock, or the set of the two Perry London flintlocks, and they'd walked in and they found this, and I believe Barbossa's sword were together. And Barbossa was a French revolutionary sword, and this one is obviously a very much so pirate cutlass. And I just think it's just such a cool piece, and it's got such a gorgeous amount of detail. This really nice leather circle here, or oval here, that's really, really just amazing. And it's just so charming to see such an amazing piece. And that's what I love about collecting Jack Sparrow's kit, piecing it together, weathering, all these things I do, is just because I really find a lot of enjoyment in bringing every piece that has his personality and his true costume design back into the real world, and being able to present it to not only you, but the group of other Jack Sparrows that I like to help around, and I try to show little different nuances and little things I've learned about the costume, as well as tips. And that's exactly what this channel is going to be about. Kind of exploring all those little things that make Jack's look just so iconic and timeless, and something that just can never really be beat, especially his original P2, P3 look like I've got going on in the corner. I'll be breaking down costume details throughout this channel, you know, kind of sharing weathering tips like I had stated earlier, and showing ways to bring that same authenticity to your own costume. A big part of it will come down to materials, but we will get into that later, and how you can try to take a cheaper costume and try to make it a little bit better, as I've helped other people do that in the past. So if this sounds like your kind of thing, then you're in the right place. And this sword will be the start to a long list of videos to show kind of every detail of the costume in good depth. This will always be one of my most treasured pieces, really. It really will, and I absolutely adore the fact that I have this, and I think that I couldn't have thought of a better way to start this channel off. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, drop a comment, and tell me what your favorite part of Jack's costume is, and what you'd like to see me cover in the next video. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more amazing content like this. If you enjoy what this is, please let me know. Let me know if you want to see, for instance, a video about the flintlock, or maybe weathering tips, or anything. I am down for all of it, and I just wanted to say thank you for watching and giving me your time. And until next time, keep your rum close, your compass true, and your sword very, very sharp. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.